Hey, it's Heba. Today I wanted to talk about a book that many of you might already know about. It's called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. I actually was at the public library a few weeks ago and I just happened to see it. And even though I already owned it, I felt really called to pick it up. And even though I had known about this book for a while and I kind of got the gist of it, hadn't really thought about it and didn't desire to pick it up at any point until I was at the library that day. So I did. I picked it up and I started reading it. I think before I had written it off as kind of I don't know, maybe too simple, not fancy enough, not, intense enough of a transformational book. But it was just what I needed when I picked it up. And I liked that it was really easy to digest and easy to read. And it was kind of simple principles that are basic, but really important and really nice to be reminded of. So the part that I opened up to that really kind of annoyed me, but I realized it sparked something in me was this: I am willing to change. I am willing to change. And for some reason, it really struck me in that moment. I felt a kind of resistance to that idea. I'm willing to change. I'm like, why would I need to change? And I don't know why. It just kind of hit me in a way that wasn't intellectual. It just was a resistance toward that. So I kind of read on and it said, wherever you feel like you do not want to change is exactly where you're being called to change. There's another affirmation in here where she says, I'm willing to learn from other people. I'm willing to learn from lessons. I'm willing to be taught things. And it was funny how much resistance was coming up against that idea that, like, oh, I still need to be taught things. I still need to learn things. I need to be willing to change. And I kind of carried just that affirmation with me. It changed so much for me at that time. It seemed so simple and so basic, but I knew that it was something powerful because every time I said it, I felt a reaction, like a visceral, emotional reaction to that phrase. And so I tried saying it all throughout my day, every day for several days. I would say it when I was angry. I would say it when I was sad. I would say it when I was feeling good, just to see what the different reactions were inside of me when I would say, I'm willing to change. And it was interesting how every time I was met with a new emotion when I said that phrase, especially when I was really angry or really frustrated with someone else, and I would say, I'm willing to change, there was like this of resistance that would come up, kind of like, why would I need to change? This person's the problem, or this situation is the problem. But then afterwards, as I kind of just sat with it, I would realize that what if my reaction was different? What if I approached things differently? What if there was something within me that made me angry? Whereas if I wasn't the way that I am, I wouldn't be angry with it. It would just be like nothing. So it was just an interesting concept. I'm willing to change, not because I'm wrong or there's something wrong with me. I'm willing to change to live a better life, to be happier, to be more kind, and to be more in alignment with my highest good. Paraphrasing as well as adding in kind of what I took out of it was, let me just bring you in a little bit closer for this because it really means a lot to me. And it's one of those revelations that you have, those realizations that you get where you know, like, this is something. This is groundbreaking for me personally. I've been someone who's been in this self-development, healing, whatever, for from 17 onward. I've been trying to understand myself and other people, to be better, to understand life and how the heck you are supposed to live it. And how to be happy, etc., how to be a good human being. And I was on all of the new age, new thought trails, manifesting and thinking about things in new ways and transcending. And all of that is wonderful. After a while, I had some bones to pick with this idea of manifesting, the idea of the vision boards and the pretending like you have this or that and what do you want. And I kind of had my own list of grievances with that way of thinking and what was presented into society about that, which is, a story for another time. But I realized that in all of my wanting and all of my desiring over these years and not receiving certain things I wanted or feeling like that there was a delay in other things, it wasn't that I wasn't diligent enough or good enough or sure enough in how I was attempting to like manifest stuff. I think it was that I forgot that I'm the one that needed to change. And it's funny because in a lot of this like healing work and self-development work, you just kind of take it for granted. Like, oh yeah, like I'm always changing, I'm always working on myself, I'm always doing all of these things. So surely, I'm going to end up exactly where I need to go. The truth of it is that I can't look outside of me at something or a circumstance in my life and say, that needs to change, that needs to be rearranged, that needs to be different. I can do that for a short time and put it out there and say, this is what I want to be different. And then all of the rest of the work is mine. All of the rest of the work is in here. It's how can I change my beliefs, my perspective, my expectations to allow for change, because change is really just you changing. It's just you translating your life differently than you did before. And I realized that was the big thing for me. It wasn't, I need to focus more, I need to do more vision boards, I need to affirm more. It was that I needed to be willing to change. It wasn't change as I understood it to be before. It's not like I need to be on a diet. I need to, not like change in that way. It's not like you need to have like a list of things that you need to change about yourself. It's something different. It's really putting that phrase or that like mantra in your field. I'm willing to change. It's like you're saying, I'm willing to be a match to that which I've asked for. Because if I haven't received it, I'm not a match to it. And it's okay. It's not a big deal, but it's like if you want it, you have to be the one who's changing because you're the one who's translating the energy of whatever it is. In recovery programs, there's this idea of handing things over to your higher self. Here are the areas where I'm struggling. I'm doing my best. I'm doing all that I can do. Opening up to say, hey, higher being, higher self, God, whatever you want to call it. Can you come help me? Can you come remove this for me? Can you come shift this up for me? I'm doing my best and this is all I can do, in a sense. And in the same way, I think that we don't always know what's there that needs to be changed within us to allow for something better. And you could even revise it to say, I'm willing to change to match my highest good. I'm willing to change to match that which I have asked for. And this brings me to another very big, very important point that I want to blast out into the world and into society. I want to say to people, stop making vision boards, stop writing these affirmations of, your millions of dollars and your lover, and stop visualizing and planning so intensely this kind of magical life that you want to lead. Because the more that you ask, the more that you're trying to pull that in and you haven't changed yourself to allow for it, I think the more that you're going to feel the non-matching, right? Like, here's this wonderful thing that you're like, this is this magical thing I'm going to experience one day. And then here's you who's like not really ready for whatever reason to receive that magical thing. And if you just keep asking and asking for that thing, but you're not really moving, your energy field is not really shifting to accommodate for this magical thing, I don't think that leads anywhere wonderful. I think that you can let go a little bit, let go of the visualizing, let go of the desire for whatever the thing is. Trust that it's already known, it's obvious, it's obvious to you and probably obvious to the universe at this point. Relax and say, I'm willing to change to accommodate for whatever that thing is. I'm willing to shift. I'm willing to see things differently. The thing is, it's a bit of a mysterious change because we can't see ourselves with 100% clarity ever. There's so many different parts of us, and there's so much that we're blind to within ourselves. Our subconscious mind, our unconscious mind, and we just can't see ourselves that objectively. So we might never know what it is that's blocking something or why we can't live something. Something wonderful to do is this, I'm willing to change. Could be, you know what, I have no idea what it is that is continuing certain patterns in my life. I don't know, let's just say. But I know that somewhere within me, it is known. There's a belief, there's an infrastructure within me that receives things in a certain way. And that's what needs to be shifted. It's kind of great because you don't intellectually know what it is. So you can't sabotage it. You can't over control it. You have to let go in a way. And you have to just trust that there's a wisdom out there that's taking care of you and knows, and that you can just say, I'm willing to change to let in my highest good. I'm willing to let go of the beliefs and the thoughts that have held me back before. And I'm willing to bring in new wonderful beliefs and thoughts. You can even say, I don't really know what any of those might be, but I'm willing to make space and I'm willing to accept and I'm willing to change. I would invite you to try it and try it in different circumstances. Try it when you feel different ways and just be aware of what arises within you when you say, I'm willing to change. What does your resistance look like? What does it sound like? So, this isn't my personal book. I mean, it came to me at one point. But all of these stickers and stuff are not mine. And this book kind of folds and opens differently than the one I got from the library, which is really funny because the one I got from the library fell open perfectly to these pages that I wanted to read. And this one falls open in all kinds of different ways than that. I wanted to read to you. It's very small because I think it was quite interesting. It's that sometimes we have beliefs which relate to certain needs. She refers to, so let's say there's a child who was criticized a lot when they were young. And so there's a part of them that feels maybe comfortable in that space of criticism. There's a need to be criticized, even though as your adult self, and even as your child self, you never wanted to be criticized. You don't want to be. But she also talks about releasing the need to be criticized and releasing the need for relationships where this person is criticized. So I thought that was really interesting because I would never think like maybe the not so healthy habits and things that we do are relating to a need. I mean, obviously, I guess they are, but it's sometimes we don't always have a direct understanding of what that need is. That that's why we're doing these things. From wherever you are, wherever you feel that resistance when you say something like, I'm willing to change, I'm willing to let go of the belief. Okay, this is the part I was going to read. Louise is talking about someone trying to give up smoking and saying, I'm willing to release the need for cigarettes. The person's relationships become more uncomfortable, which actually means the process is working. So then instead of saying, I'm willing to release the need for cigarettes, it might change to, am I willing to give up uncomfortable relationships? Were my cigarettes creating a smoke screen so I wouldn't see how uncomfortable these relationships are? And why am I creating these relationships? Or the cigarettes are a symptom and not a cause. So instead of saying, I'm willing to give up the need for cigarettes, it changes into, I'm willing to release the need for uncomfortable relationships, which is so crazy. Like, why would we need uncomfortable relationships? But it really made me think about certain things in my life, and maybe they're like repetitive patterns and kind of things that keep coming up. And I'm like, why is it the same thing over and over? And it's like, oh, what if I have some kind of subconscious, unconscious need for that? Because, it creates a familiar environment for me, or there's certain belief systems I have where it already kind of fits with those. So it's easy to just keep living the same thing in certain areas. I just think it was a really easy way to make some very powerful shift in one's life. Just that one little phrase, I'm willing to change, and just see what comes up and see what happens and see where that kind of pushback is within you. And one area I had was I was at work and I was very frustrated. And I said it. I said, I'm willing to change. And I was so annoyed with myself because it was other people around me that were being frustrating. And I thought, why would I need to change? They need to change. And then it made me think, oh, what's kind of going on here? Is there a need for me to feel like there's people in my environment that are annoying? Do I have a need to be surrounded by people who are not doing the right thing for whatever reason? So I was like, okay, well, I don't know, but I'm willing to release the need for that. I'm willing to change. I'm willing to take responsibility for how I'm feeling and for how I'm interpreting my environment. And I'm willing to change to be happier, whatever that means. And there's a wisdom in the universe and within us that knows what to do next. I just really wanted to share that because I love it, and I talked about it with my therapist at one point, and he called it my power mantra. I'm willing to change. I think that our power mantras change over time, whatever is relevant for whatever reason. This one is mine for this season of life, for however long it's relevant for, and I would invite you to try it and see how you feel. I did want to talk about Louise Hay just for another little bit because of this book, kind of the reemergence of it in my life, and this very beautiful mantra. I started listening to some of her stuff online, like on YouTube, some affirmations that she had. There are these kind of core ones. I think I listened to it on a video that I really love. Sometimes they feel better than other times, depending on, how down in the dumps I am or how stressed I am, but they always uplift me. At least one of them will kind of, bring in some light. I want to share those as well. Very easy. All is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe. And that combo is so nice. And sometimes I'll modify it. I'll say, like, out of all situations, only good will come. Or I'll say, I'm safe, I am blessed. I tend to start all of my affirmations in general with that phrase now, I've learned. Kind of opens a door for you to begin whatever work that you're doing. And I'm not talking about affirmations in terms of like, I'm a millionaire. I have a wonderful lover. I have this house. I'm talking about affirmations that help me not to get lost in the material world and lost in my own psyche and mental self. Things that help me remember that all is well, right? I'm a powerful being. We're all powerful beings. So I'll use Louise Hay's affirmations to go into my other ones. And right now I'm doing BK Shivani's affirmations. I was watching her on YouTube, and some of her stuff is really beautiful and uplifting. And she said to try these certain phrases and to write them down every morning, every night, in between, or even say them like before you eat, kind of like bless your food. I'll say them to you quickly now, but I invite you to look up her videos, and I feel like you'll probably easily find that video. If I remember, I'll link it so that it's just a click away. I'm a powerful being. I am happy always. I am calm and stable always. I love and accept people, and people love and accept me. My body and my mind are in perfect health. I'm fearless. I'm confident. So just some nice self-affirming. Oh, a big one that she says is God's light and blessings are a protective circle of light all around me. Something like that. And I've modified these to my liking. So those are kind of like the basic ones that she said. And she says to modify them and add more specific ones. And she's very much so into like write down the life that you want to have, like write what you want to have in life and repeat it so that your mind knows it. It's kind of more of that manifesting stuff, which is great. It's just not where I am right now. I'm more like, how can I just get out of the way? How can I be in alignment with my own blessings that are already there? Those kinds of affirmations just help me remember, be safe and stable and centered no matter what chaos is happening around me. I start off with Louise Hay and then I move into those, and it's just nice and it's easy, especially Louise's. It's so easy to remember just those few phrases. That's what I have for you for now about Louise, and I'll see you soon. Bye.